G'day everyone and welcome back to Baggers Podcast 25. Today's episode 15 and today's a bit of a different one for us. So today we're going to be going through our ladder predictions for 2025. As always, I'm joined by my co-host
Louis from the Perth Blue Baggers pod.
So yeah, excited to have a bit of a change here. So we've got our ladder predictions down on either our phones or paper or whatever it is. But we're going to go from 18th till 1st. You might see a little bit of paper up in the editing box somewhere on the screen.
Maybe.
So I'll start off. I'll go with my 18th till 1st. So in my 18th, I've got the Richmond Footy Club, even though there's been a lot of speculation about Richmond lately with the quickest rebuild, apparently. But I can't see that happening with a lot going wrong probably behind the scenes with the Noah Bolter in Mulwala. That was certainly interesting. Obviously, losing some very key players: Liam Baker, Jack Graham, Shai Bolton, a few others here and there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't see them having that big effect, and I don't think they're. I don't think they're where they were last year. I see a little bit of improvement, but I don't see a lot of improvement. I
Yeah.
can see hopefully a better brand of footy. But do you want to get into your
I
18th now?
yeah, I'll,
Or
I'll, I'll say my 18th. I also obviously think Richmond will be number 18. Certainly one win. I'll give them one win. Probably two. I couldn't see them get I could see them get three, but I couldn't see them get any more than three wins.
yeah, I'll get into my 17th. So for my 17th, I have the North Melbourne Kangaroos. Now, this might come as a bit of a surprise to others, but uh, I just don't see the Roos there. They've got heaps of young talent. Harry Sheezel's probably in one of the greatest forms. Well, not we can't really say greatest forms now, but probably one of the better younger players in this modern day at the moment. But you got you got a lot of key players. They just need to put them key players to their list, basically. You know what I mean? Their squad. I think they will do that this year for at least the first 2 to 3 rounds, where I think they'll actually go winless.
Mm.
But then, oh, sorry, what's it called again? Lossless. They won't lose a game for the first 2 to 3 rounds. But
Okay. So
yeah, I
undefeated.
can't see. Yeah, undefeated. That's the word.
Right.
Actually.
Okay.
And then over to you for your 17th.
Yes. Okay. So I have West Coast as number 17. I do see much more improvement for them, at least 5 or 6 wins. The gap between 17 and 18th will be very clear, I feel. So I'll put West Coast down there. Yeah, obviously, I could see them. They probably wouldn't get off to any higher than 15th, probably. Also, they could be doing a 2023 Hawthorn, so they finish off the season strong. If you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Then
that's the toast ball. Um, yeah, in my 16th, I've got West Coast, and I think that's pretty self-explanatory. They have not had a good last couple of years, and
yeah,
can't say it improving. There's been a lot. Obviously, there's been a lot behind the scenes as well as Richmond. Um, Brisbane targeting Oscar Allen. Matt Owies, he just looks a bit fat. Not gonna lie. Um, and yeah, that's who I've got in my 16th position. Um,
in okay.
Over to you.
In my 16th, I have Essendon. I bet some people probably wouldn't be happy with that. Look, I just think they have some new guys coming in, but they take some time to gel. So they'll still be a good team. Maybe and probably 16th seems low for them, but it would still be a year of some highlights.
Yeah, certainly. For my 15th, this will come as a shock to many people, and when I say many people, I mean many people. I've got the GWS Giants.
Oh, okay.
That's a very big bold call. Yeah, and you are all probably watching, saying that I'm a bit of an idiot, but I see the Giants having a massive fall off. You know, they've lost. Who'd they lose again? They lost some key player, and I don't actually see them doing well in 2025 at all. I think they're going to get off to a shocking start, try and claw their way back midway through the year, and it's just not going to gel properly. But you know, as we're saying, this is just predictions, and this is my opinion. So I don't care what
Yeah.
you say in the chat, but just remember that this is our opinions. And yeah, it's over to you now, Luke.
Yeah, we're obviously no experts. And then so 15th I have North Melbourne. So I see them getting a possible maybe 5+ wins, maybe probably more like 6, 7. I see more improvement from North Ball. A fast sort of brand of footy, a bit similar to a Hawthorn. And their midfield has got some very good young players like Sheasel. And then they got Finn O'Sullivan in the draft this year. So looking forward to see how he goes.
Yeah, it will be. I actually really rate that man, Finn O'Sullivan. Really exciting up and coming player. In my 14th position, I've got the Bombers. And yes, some people aren't going to be happy with that because obviously Carlton, they're some rivals. But yeah, they've got a lot of depth on their list, but they haven't got that like older leadership player like they did with Heppel. And I don't think you can rely all on Zach Merritt to do the job for you. Nate Caddy's only coming into his second year, so you can't really rely on him to do heaps up forward. Peter Wright did absolute jack shit the second half of the year for him, so yeah, it's not, it doesn't look good for them at the moment, but you never know, they could prove us wrong and they could have a breakout year. They could go on and actually make a finals debut. But let's not jump to conclusions because we all know that that's not happening. Anyway, over to you.
My 14th is Melbourne. I feel like they'll get some more injuries again, and some of their usual older talent sort of has sort of lost their ability. I think Petrarca and Oliver will still have a great year.
Yeah, certainly. So I'll jump into my 13th. We just got a fan question. I just checked on the phone, and we'll read that out right at the end because we've been forgetting to do them as of late. So I'm very sorry, everyone. But jumping into my 13th position, I've got Melbourne. So you pretty much summed up exactly what I was about to say then. Petrarca coming back from injury probably can't do it all. I think a standout for them looks like Clayton Oliver at the moment. I saw a Supercoach video on Instagram and he looked fit and firing. So be aware of him. And let's jump into your 13th position.
Yeah, St Kilda. So this is on my ladder where we start to get up to finals or thereabouts contenders, I reckon. So anyone from 1 to 13 will be awfully close, probably with at least 11 or 12, 13, 14 wins. It's going to be, I feel like, certainly from about 5th to about 13 will be very close. And that's just what the AFL would want. Number 13 is St Kilda. So, they'll be better than last year, I reckon. Just can't find the consistency.
Yeah. In 12th for me, just like any other year, basically for them, I've got the Gold Coast Suns, where they get off maybe to a good start, like
Yeah.
they do most years, and they fall all the way down, and then they regain a little bit, and then it goes win loss, win loss, win loss.
Yeah.
So I think that's exactly what will happen again with them this year. They're quite a boring team to watch, in my opinion, but that's who I've got at 12. Over to you for your 12th position.
I also have Gold Coast at number 12. Yeah, like echo what you said there. Basically, they'll be thereabouts. Every time I do the ladder predictor, which I've done about 5 times trying to make this list, still couldn't quite get what I wanted. So every time Gold Coast started off with a very good start, maybe around 6-1, 6 wins, 1 loss, I reckon. Most of the times I've done it. And then they really drop off, unfortunately, for them. And they basically just win at home, and that's all they can manage.
Yeah, agreed. Very agreed. Into my 11th position, where I've got the St Kilda Saints. So the Saints will have a better year than what they have the last couple of years, and I think it's on the back of the young ruckman Rowan Marshall. He looks insane at the moment, in insane condition, and I'm hoping that he can make an All Australian debut. There you go.
Good for
I
him.
really like how he goes about it. And over to you for your 12th position. 11th position, sorry.
Yeah. I have, this might be a little surprising, but I think other people have probably predicted this as well. Port Adelaide to drop off. Unfortunately for them. Don't know, tough fixture is what I seem to find. The only real reason I could think of every time I did the ladder prediction. Yeah.
Definitely. This will come as another surprise. You just will not like my ladder predictions this year. I've got the Sydney Swans. Now coming out of a grand final, there's always the one team that doesn't make finals the next year, and I think that Sydney Swans will be that team. So that basically gives you an idea that I have put Brisbane inside the 8 for my ladder predictions, which is probably what most people have done.
Yeah.
Over to you.
So number 10, is it? Yeah.
Number 10, yep.
Yeah, I have Adelaide. So
Ooh.
they have about around 13, 14 wins, just can't quite get in based on percentage because they seem to, when they lose badly sometimes, especially away. When they're at home and they lose, it's very close.
Indeed.
Yeah, so they can't quite find the consistency to get themselves into the 8, and it might mean the sacking of their coach.
Yeah. All right, this is the one that I love. This is the one that I love to rate out. 9th position, I've got the Collingwood Magpies. I could not be happier saying that. Yeah, they didn't have a good year last year at all. Nothing really went right for them. Jordan De Goey's never fit. They haven't got Nick Dacos is always carrying them in his second year. And I just see it being the exact same for them. And on the back of Dan Houston's magic first year, it's just not going to work out for them. And that's why I've got them at 9th. So, yeah, over to you, Louis.
Well, that's good to see. Western Bulldogs are, for me, at number 9. Unfortunately for them, they lose a few close ones at the back end of the year. Actually, no. Their fixturing in the early part of the season was very hard. And I see them probably going at a rate of like 4 wins and 7 losses. So they have to quickly build up from there. Do some great progress, a bit like this year. And then, unfortunately, they can't quite get the wins they need at the back end of the season.
Certainly.
But great, they have a great midfield, pretty good forward line building. But Jamar Hagen, he has had some personal issues, so I don't know how that's going to affect his season. But they have what's his name? Is it Sam Darcy?
Yeah, Sam Darcy.
Yes, Sam Darcy, who's looking to be a very great forward.
Yeah.
He'll lead their forward line.
Yeah, bit of an odd one with Jamari Ugle-Hagan. Apparently, he's missed some key training, and I don't know, something's going on there. But we are into the top 8. Everyone gets excited. So, in 8th position for me, I've got the Adelaide Crows. I reckon this is the Crows year where they make finals. They get out the first round of finals like exactly what Carlton did. But I see their first half of the year being one of the best halves of the year that you will see.
Yeah.
But then dropping off second half of the year, securing some big losses, and then just falling away from there. So
yeah. When I did my prediction, when I did my predictions, Adelaide had a very good start. Pretty much almost got to around 10 wins before maybe the middle part, before their bye, and unfortunately couldn't quite get many more wins after that. So my number 8 is GWS, who just sneak in. So yeah, obviously, unfortunately, things don't quite gel for them this year.
Yeah, that's a reasonable prediction.
Still dangerous.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be writing off any team this year, apart from probably Richmond.
Yeah, that's a good point. For my 7th, I've got Port Adelaide. So yeah, as you have been saying, I reckon this is the year that Port do sort of drop off. They never find form in finals. I don't know what it is, but I do see them out round 1 as well. And you never know. Anything can happen. Oh, sorry. And yeah, I'm off to you, Luke.
Yeah, so my number 7 is Fremantle. I reckon I could see them finishing in the top 4 as well. But just living in WA, it's hard for the travelling wise, and it does have a big impact on the players. But the fact that they get into the final is off the back of a helpful mid-season playing a few matches in a row where I think they play at least 4 at home, maybe 3 or 4. One against one team, and then they have North Melbourne over here. North Melbourne playing a few expedition matches. And they also North Melbourne will also play one against West Coast down in Bunbury. So hopefully that's creates a real gather round sort of atmosphere down there. So what was I going to say? Yeah, Freo I could see making the top 4. Just that they're another team that just seem to lack a bit of consistency as well.
Yeah, very well said. Yeah, in my 6th position, I've got Freo.
Yeah.
So yeah, you see their list and you go, wow, there's got to be an improvement made, and there will be this year. Back of getting Liam Baker, which is an absolute steal for what they gave to Richmond.
I mean, Shai Bolton.
Yeah.
Baker went to West Coast.
Oh, Baker went to West Coast.
Yeah.
Right. There you go.
Yeah.
Learn something new every day.
Shai Bolton will really add to their forward line because Michael Walters is about in his mid-30s, I think. So, yeah, it's getting a bit slow.
Yeah. I still do think that Fremantle will finish 6th. There you go.
Yeah.
I thought Liam Baker was a docker. That's my bad. And yeah, I'm still going to back them in for 6 because I think you look at their list and you go, there has to be something made, and there will be.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Now, my number 6 is Collingwood. Going to give them some sort of respect, unfortunately,
Yeah.
this year. Yeah, with the acquisition of Houston, that's pretty big. So they'll get a bit of drive off their half back line. Might be the little ingredient they need to be more competitive this year. And I reckon Carlton will beat them once, and they'll beat us another. Both will be within 5 points.
Well, as long as we beat them once this year, I'll be happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But into my 5th position, where I got the Bulldogs, and where we does our Matt Kennedy look sensational? He looks like a ripper at the moment. Unfortunately, we couldn't hold on to him, but wishing him all the best this year because he looks in ripping nick. Holy dooly, does he look good? But again, same as Fremantle, you look at their list and you go, there has to be something done, and
Yeah.
there'll be. I reckon there will be. So in 5th, I've got the Bulldogs. Who have you got in 5th?
My favourite team, Carlton. Carlton has
Ooh.
made with 15 wins, so we've got more consistent. Unfortunately, just the usual injury problems and impacting team cohesion. I have to be a little bit reserved on what I think about Carlton this year, even though I'm probably one of the most delusional supporters there is.
That is very true. Into the top 4, where I have got my beloved Carlton too. So yeah, can't give them first every year, but I do see there's going to be a lot of improvement, and I feel like there's going to be a Sam Doherty story with Nick Newman. There has something ringing a bell about it. Something that always happens with Carlton.
I've heard reports that they haven't quite ruled him out for the whole season.
Yeah, there you go. Could be a late comeback. The last 3 games, settles himself out for one, has a crappy game. Then you never know. You always see with injuries, someone comes back and they look terrific. And you're like, what the hell is going on behind the scenes here? But I think it's Newey. I think Newey, he's a competitor. He's a fighter. He's like Doc. He can come back from anything. So I do think he will come back later in the year. Whether he doesn't, which is fair enough. If I know I probably wouldn't want to be playing when I've done something to my knee. My knee hardly works at the moment. But yeah, well, who have you got for your 4th position?
Brisbane. Yeah. Not quite first position, probably because of their forward line with the loss of Neil Danaher, but their list remains the same. They didn't really have a busy draft or that. The only real big thing is Levi Ashcroft, so he's going to really impact their team. So he'll propel them to 4th, will help. But I'm interested to see how Brisbane deal with replacing their key forward.
Yeah. Boy, that will actually be very interesting. I think Logan Morris really needs to step up.
Yeah. So about 16, maybe 15, 16 wins for that one, for Brisbane.
Yeah. Yeah, in my 3rd, I've got the Hawks. So basically, same as last year, but a lot better. They'll start off their year well, midway through a little bit of a up and down, but yeah, I see them finishing in 3rd this year and playing maybe a home qualifying final.
Yep.
Slightly doubtful, but who knows?
In 3rd for me, I've got Geelong. I've learnt over the past few years never to write them off. I think they will finish in a very comfortable position in 3rd place with, they'll do well again. Incredibly consistent.
It doesn't really matter what list they have Geelong. They always find a way.
Yeah.
And that's why I got them in second.
Very much a testament to Chris Scott's coaching. Just finds
100%.
little gems and players. In fact, he might even get Jack
100%.
Martin back. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets Jack Martin back to his best. Healthy.
Yeah, they probably will.
Yeah.
Would not surprise me at all. But over to you for your top two.
Okay, you want me to do my top two now?
You do your second and then I'll do mine.
Okay, so my second is Hawthorn. Like you said, easily one of the contenders. Exciting brand of footy, fast. They burst through the midfield, impact on the ground in the forward line. Defense is looking very strong with Tom Barrass coming in. Players will be fighting for a spot too, certainly in the defence for Hawthorn. So I think they'll be one of the teams to beat.
Yeah, 100%. So if there's background noise, all shut. Yeah, so what happened? Am I still here?
Yeah.
I'm still here. I don't know what happened. Hello. For my first position, the Brisbane Lions. They look unstoppable. I know Danaher's out. He can kick a long bomb. He can do anything with the bloody footy. But I think this is the year that we see Logan Morris shine. He looked really good the last probably 5 games of the year, even though in that elimination final it was quite embarrassing for the young fella, but kicking like Harry Mackay 2023. But I say Brisbane just being unstoppable there. Anything can happen in that team. They make anything happen. Zorko, these nearly bloody LeBron James's age and still flying. So yeah, I would like to see them probably drop off just like they always do good every year, but just can't see them dropping off anytime soon. And over to your first, which I think I already know who it is.
Yeah, by process of elimination, here comes Sydney. Sydney at number 1.
Yep.
I see about 18 wins, 17, 18 wins for them again. It'd be very much like this year, but teams will find a way to break them apart later in the season. They'll have a competitive finals campaign, but maybe they lose in the grand final once again. Who knows? They just got a good midfield I don't think many teams can beat their midfield.
Yeah.
Especially.
Very, very fair. And that wraps up a ladder prediction. So that has gone for a whopping 28 minutes. So we'll quickly get into our fan questions, and that'll do us for today. So
do we have
hang
on? Do we have finals? Finals.
Ooh, what do we think? Do we do it first time? Do we do it now, or do we do it next episode?
Now, I guess, seems more fitting.
Yeah, it does. All right, let's do now. All right, on to finals.
So you started off, and I'll try and match whatever
I will
mine
indeed
is.
start us off. So, looks like I've got a qualifying final between Carlton and the Brisbane Lions. Wow, wowee. I'd assume that will be played at the Gabba. So
Yeah.
I'm going to back in the Lions, but don't write off Carlton.
Yeah.
My elimination final 1, I've got the Bulldogs taking on the Adelaide Crows. I've got the Bulldogs winning that. For the elimination final 2, I've got Fremantle taking on Port Adelaide. And for my qualifying final 2, hang on. No, I need to pick a winner out of them probably. Port Adelaide win against Fremantle. Just by the barest of margins, by 1 point. Qualifying final 2, Geelong versus Hawthorn. I've got Hawthorn winning. And then I'll just finish I'll finish all mine off. I'll go to the grand final. So, semi-final 1 is Carlton versus the Bulldogs. I've got Carlton winning. Semi-final 2, Geelong versus Port Adelaide. I've got Geelong winning, which puts us in our preliminary finals where 4 teams remain. Preliminary final 1, Brisbane Lions versus Port Adelaide. I've got the Lions. Preliminary final 2, Hawks versus Carlton. I've got Carlton winning. Grand final, Brisbane versus Carlton. Brisbane are not going back to back, which means Carlton are getting up. Might sound biased, just my opinion. It's about it. We've got to do it.
Yeah.
Probably one of our last chances.
Okay. Well, I don't have the same layout as yours because I wasn't quite happy with my ladder predictions on Squiggle. So this was all in my head, a bit of a mixing and match of the previous Squiggles I've done. So I think my first one of the qualifying finals is first Sydney versus number 4 Brisbane. I think Sydney will get on top on that one just because it's in Sydney. My second qualifying final is Hawthorn versus Geelong. Geelong's experience might come up on top on that one, so I'll back in Geelong. One of the elimination finals, Carlton at 5th versus GWS at 8th. In 8th. Carlton win that one easily. Thank you very much. And then the other elimination final is Collingwood versus Fremantle. The fact that it's at the MCG in front of a roaring probably 90k versus maybe like 5k Fremantle. I think Collingwood will win that one. If it was at Optus, I'd back in Freo. Then who comes next? So who would Carlton play if they finished 5th?
And they won against, who was it?
GWS.
Playing at the MCG.
Would they beat they first number 4 or number 2? I don't know.
Number 2, it would be.
Yeah, okay, so we probably versus Hawthorn. We beat Hawthorn. So Hawthorn have gone down in straight sets, unfortunately for them. Our experience will come to use there. And we'll finally have some injury-free. We have a great team in, full of our best 23. With or without Newman, I don't know. That's still up in the air, I guess. And then the other semi-final would be Brisbane versus Collingwood. Brisbane at the Gabba will work out there. So Brisbane are in. That means it will be a rematch in the preliminary final, Brisbane versus Geelong. Go Geelong this time. So Geelong are into the grand final. Now we got a preliminary final, Carlton versus Sydney. So that will be very much a little bit of a frontier that we need to cross. It's been a long time since we've beaten Sydney in Sydney. So I think that will be a statement win there. It'll be a nice close one. Cardiac Carlton. So it's a Carlton versus Geelong grand final. No real home ground advantage because they're both Victorian teams and most half play either at Marvel or GHMBA, so Cardinia Park. So I'm going to obviously go with Carlton because of my Carlton bias.
Yeah. Good idea.
Flaggers 2025.
Yep, it's official. All right, into fan questions.
Yep.
My monitor is running very low, so we'll quickly get through these fan questions. First one's from I Love Charlie Kerno 30. What is your favourite player in the VFL/AFL? All right, so I'm guessing you want us to start off with VFL. For my VFL player, it's got to be Liam McMahon. I don't know how to say his name. AFL,
Yep.
Ashton Moyer, as you know, got my page dedicated. Well, not my Carlton Blues account dedicated to him, but my Big Ashton Moyer account dedicated to him. What about you, Luke?
Yeah, I'll say Liam McMahon as well. As a VFL players, unfortunately, I don't think he got an SSP spot. So, unfortunately for him, but
somewhere.
You never know. His career's still not over. Hopefully, makes a good impact in the Carlton reserves. And then, obviously, my favourite player is Big Cripper, 2-time Brownlow medalist. Probably going to be Norm Smith and Premiership captain. And get the Barassi medal, I think it is.
Yeah.
So he'll get 2 accolades, or maybe I'll give Sam Walsh and Norm Smith there.
Indeed, they might. Well, this one has been requested to not read out their name. Okay, so I won't do that. Can we get Sam Rowe on the podcast, please? I loved watching him growing up.
Who's Sam?
Sam Rowe. Oh, okay. I know what you're saying. Sam Rowe. Yeah, I can give it a go. We can try.
Worth a try.
Worth a go.
Can you explain who he is to me?
He's a former Carlton player. I think he played in the 2016 team.
Oh, should have known that. That's okay. We were younger back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we can give that a go. I don't think Sam Rowe will be watching, but if you are, send me through text on Insta and we'll get something sorted. Cool. And that wraps up episode 15. Thank you all for watching. I'm Baggers Podcast 25, your host, and you are
Louis from the Perth Blue Baggers Pod.
Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.